He was signed to a $28 million endorsement contract and did nothing. Nobody has proof of anything that he did. Zero things. No likes, no retweets, no posts, no tree planting.
Wait, did the NBA just drop the guillotine on Kawhi Leonard? Yup, you heard that right. Mr. Fun Guy, Mr. I'll sit out half the season but still cash the check, has been slapped with a lifetime ban. And why? Oh, just a tiny little $28 million fraud scandal that makes Enron look like a lemonade stand. How does one of the quietest dudes in basketball go from silent assassin to silent scammer? Was this a setup? A cover-up? Or did the NBA finally catch the Clippers red-handed in the dirtiest play off the court? Buckle up. This one's messy. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, Kawhi Leonard, the man, the myth, the meme, the guy who built a career on giving the least amount of emotion humanly possible, who somehow turned load management into a lifestyle brand, is now at the center of what the NBA is calling the biggest off-court fraud scandal in decades. And when I say fraud, I'm not talking about missed jumpers in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about $28 million. Gone, vanished, slipped right into Kawhi's lap under a contract so shady, it makes Area 51 look like an open house. Now, here's the thing. Kawhi was supposed to be the quiet superstar, right? The guy who stays away from drama. No Twitter beefs, no messy podcasts, no subtweets at teammates. But what happens when the guy with no words suddenly makes headlines for all the wrong reasons? That silence turns sinister. Because according to leaked documents and anonymous sources, oh yeah, you know we got those, Kawhi wasn't just quietly cashing checks. He was quietly running a side hustle that would make even Wall Street wolves jealous. Let's rewind a little. Remember when the Clippers owner Steve Ballmer, yeah, Mr. Microsoft Money himself, was flexing his billions to make the Clippers relevant? The man dropped a cool $300 million arena sponsorship deal with this so-called eco-friendly company called Aspiration. Sounds noble, right? Save the planet, plant some trees, keep the billionaires looking woke. Except, turns out the only thing growing wasn't trees, it was Kawhi's secret bank account. Because hiding behind all that green marketing fluff was a deal so outrageous, so over the top, it practically screamed corruption. Here's what the leak says. Kawhi's company, some sneaky little LLC that popped up out of nowhere, got a 4-year contract worth $28 million. And guess what he had to do for it? Absolutely nothing. No ads, no social media posts, not even a fake smile in front of a camera. The man literally signed a deal to exist. His entire job description was, be Kawhi Leonard and keep wearing that Clippers jersey. That's it. And here's the kick. The deal had a clause that made it expire if Kawhi ever left the Clippers. Oh, you see the pattern? This wasn't a sponsorship. This wasn't about eco-banking. This was a backdoor salary cap. A billionaire's trick to funnel money into his star players' pockets without the NBA catching on. Except now, they did. And the NBA isn't just mad. They're furious. Because this isn't just about one player. This is about the integrity of the game. And the league doesn't like looking like it got hustled. So now the question is, how deep does this rabbit hole go? Was Kawhi just the face of this shady side deal, or was he the mastermind quietly pulling strings? Did Ballmer set this up to keep him locked in as the Clippers franchise savior? Or was this just another case of the rich getting richer while pretending to be green hero? Either way, the league finally drew a line. And that line ended with one phrase nobody thought they'd ever hear attached to Kawhi Leonard. Lifetime ban. And here's the wild part. This isn't even the first time whispers about Kawhi and money games have circled. Remember back when he left San Antonio? Oh, that wasn't just about a quad in. Insiders claimed Kawhi's camp was demanding private jets, off-the-books perks, and even special treatment that would make LeBron blue. Toronto gave him the red carpet and still lost him in a heart. The Clips, they didn't roll out the red carpet. They apparently paved it with cash hidden under eco-friendly contracts. Now, picture NBA investigators poring over bank since finding Kawhi's name tied to an LLC nobody even knew existed. It's like a dusty old closet and watching skeletons tumble out in bulk. Anonymous league officials are reportedly calling this the most blatant salary cap circumvention scheme since the days of the shady Joe Smith contract in Minnesota. Except, oh, this is bigger, flashier, and dripping with fingerprints. And then, as if things couldn't get any crazier, public reaction. Fans started roasting Kawhi online, posting memes of him planting fake trees for every miss. Load management, but for the planet. One viral tweet. Another joked, Kawhi's laugh wasn't fake. It was the sound of $28 million hitting his. The man who once went viral for a laugh is now trending fraud. You can't make this. But let's not pretend Kawhi is the only player to get caught in this billionaire. This is a team so desperate to buy legitimacy that they practically invented creative. Steve Ballmer, worth over $100 billion, thought he could outsmart the entire NBA with monopoly. He didn't just invest in the company sponsoring team. He allegedly used it as a piggy bank to sneak funds to his hat. Doesn't scream conflict of interest, I don't know. Insiders claim that behind closed doors, Ballmer was the pupper. Keep Kawhi happy no matter the cost, was supposed ultra. Forget the fact that Kawhi barely plays 60% of the season. Forget the fact that he's turned rest days into a... Ballmer wanted his man in, if it meant bending the rules. Until, of course, the rule back. And here's the kicker. Documents from Aspiration's bankruptcy filings revealed the debt owed not just to creditors, not just to investors, but directly ties own company. We're talking millions still hanging in the balance, millions tied to a sponsorship that never produced a single commercial, billboard, or Instagram post. Tell me, when's the last time you saw Kawhi post? Dudes, Instagram is quieter than a library, but somehow he made 28 million. So now the NBA is... Fans are furious, rival owners outraged, and league officials are pointing fingers at Ballmer, asking how deep his billions are entangled us. Was this just Kawhi's payday, or the Clippers' dirty little secret? Either way, and the whispers around the league are only louder. If they can do this to Kawhi, who else is quietly cashing off the... And just when you thought it couldn't get any darker, the NBA officially announced the one punishment nobody thought they'd ever have handed out. Yup, Kawhi Leonard, the two-time final MVP, the so-called superstar, just joined the Hall of Infamy next to gamblers, cheaters, and scandal-ridden athletes who thought they... Imagine being banned for life not because you gambled on games, not because you assaulted refs, but because you got caught in a billionaire's eco-friendly... You can't script this level of irony. The NBA's statement ice cold. No sugarcoating, PR fluff. They said the evidence was undeniable, that Kawhi's secret contract violated the very foundation of fair competition, and that the Clippers organization knowingly participated in activities that undermined the translation. You cheated, you got greedy. Reaction explosive. Sports talk shows turned into dramas. Analysts who once praised Kawhi's quiet demeanor now ripped him apart, calling him the fraud and the laziest $28 million endorsement deal in history. One commenter even joked, "At least Jordan worked for his sneaker money. Kawhi just stood there and..." Brutal. And it doesn't Kawhi. The fallout has Steve Kerr shaking too. There are whispers that the league might force him to sell the Clippers, the same way Donald got booted. Imagine dropping bills to buy the team. Billions. More for a shiny new arena, only to lose it all because you thought you could sneak your star a little bone aside. The NBA doesn't just punish players, they legacies. And blind. Meet governments circling. The Department of Justice and the SEC are allegedly poking around Aspiration bankruptcy files for fraud. And when the feds start sniffing, bills start sweating. Reports are swirling that subpoenas are already... that Kawhi's financial records are being audited, and that Ballmer's panic mode. If this blows up beyond basketball, we're not just talking about suspensions and lost draft picks. We're talking about handcuffs, baby. Craziest part? Fans are divided. Some say Kawhi's being scapegoated, that needed a fall. Guy serious. Others say he's guilty as hell, pointing out that his entire brand is built on doing less for more money. So of course he'd take a contract to cash checks. Either way, the irreversible. His legacy? Tarnished forever. And now we're left $1 million, or should I say million question. Was this fraud the final chapter of Leonard's career? Or just the beginning of an even bigger scandal to drag more names down with him? If history tells us anything, it's that scandals like to stay contained. Once the first domino falls, shakes. And trust me, the NBA hasn't seen shaking like this since the Donaghy betting scandal. So buckle up, because this isn't the end, it's the start of a storm. So what do you think? Is Kawhi Leonard really the mastermind of the NBA's biggest fraud, or just the fall guy in a billionaire's dirty game? Should Steve Ballmer be forced to sell the Clippers? Or does the league just want to make an example out of someone? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear all the hot takes, all the conspiracies, all the theories you got. Smash that like button. If you think this story is crazier than any playoff upset, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next bombshell. And trust me, this saga, it's only getting started.